what is the complexity and difficulty of Kriya practice and how to simplify it. So I'm going to discuss this because I heard a video by Sadhguru that Kriya is an amazing, powerful practice, and but it requires a lot of involvement. And if you don't have a living person who can do some things with you, um, it's going to take many lifetimes, to develop yourself, in it. And those who's developed in it or is practicing it, they can dismantle anything in material. They can dismantle everything and put it back together. You know, and everyone's interested in manifestation and having mystical powers, right? And another thing he mentioned is people with Kriya, you'll notice him, he's got presence, right? So I'm a practitioner. I just follow four multiple protocols, but Kriya is a very important part of my practice, an important part of my healing, because I'm an energy healer as well. So for those of you who like my videos, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Um, because this will help my channel to reach out to more people, right? And if you could do just one additional favor, optional, right? Just drop a comment and share it with just one other person or social media channel. That's it, right? And but anyway, bottom line, I am very appreciative and thank you very much for simply spending your time to listen to me, right? Thank you for that from the bottom of my heart. And for those who don't know me, I am Osman. I'm a bioenergy healer on a master level with telepathic healing capabilities, specializing in critical care recovery and terminal illnesses, amongst a host of other physiological, psychological, and spiritual ailments. I have an amazing offer, a 10-minute anxiety fix for just $5, less than the price of a Starbucks coffee, right? And deliver to you telepathically anywhere globally, instantly, and pay only after you are satisfied. Even if it's fixed and you felt this was magic and it wasn't me, it was some coincidence, and you're not happy to pay me, I don't want the money. It's fine, pay only if you're happy. I'm not working for my time. I'm working for your happiness, and for your success and your happiness, right, and your satisfaction. So you can get more information to contact me in my website, yogawellness786.com. I'm also an advanced level yoga and meditation teacher, having been practicing this art form for almost 50 years and teaching for 44 years. In that time, I studied under various masters from different schools of thought, from different cultures across the globe, from the Far East cultures, the Eastern cultures, the Middle Eastern cultures, and the Western cultures, right? And to that end, I've created my own unique protocols, mainly making things simpler, easier, faster, quicker, more time efficient, and results oriented. To that end, I've got students now in over 100 countries. And my favorite protocol is my 5-minute yoga and meditation program, which you can download for free by visiting my website, yogawellness786.com, and in exchange to subscribing to my blog. And where you can also get more information about my services and contact information as well. So also remember that all my treatment therapies are natural based and not a replacement for medical treatment, right? So coming back to this question on Kriya practice, which I adapted from various teachers, mainly two teachers, right? From different combination of Paramahamsa Yogananda's Kriya and the Kundalini Pranayama, and uh, my own uh, evolution of a pranayama method, right? That I created a system based on established methods, of course, right? Not my own pranayama, right? But I made it simple step by step, because now we need step one, step two, step three, step four. Step four, boom, you can do that. And it works for everyone when they reach that level, right? In terms of Kundalini activations and, all these things, right? So, so what Sadhguru's important Bottom line is those who are practicing it, they can dismantle and put back together whatever when you the higher and higher levels that you reach. So you start to gain more and more powers, mystical powers, as you're becoming stronger and stronger in your kriya. So the mystical power, the way I use the mystical power in the kriya practice that I'm doing, is in healing people. And when I found I, could reach, master level, then I decided to, now stop doing commercial enterprise business and start doing my energy healing and yoga wellness and so forth as a business. And I was earning very well, by the way, in business. And this field, I think even poor people are richer than me, right, currently. But I know I will become wealthy. But I said, no, I'll use my experience in business to make it a business here. So, I mean, how much am I charging for 10-minute anxiety fix? $5, less than the price of a Starbucks coffee, right? Uh, how rich you think I'm going to become, right? But I'm interested in reaching a wide audience of people, right? As many people, try to help them. Not only to help them, I don't want to be, then I'm not Jesus, right? And I'm not the next Jesus, but I want people to know that this thing, and I'm saying I'm not keeping my healing a secret. It is in the advanced yoga and meditation protocol. In the Kriya is the secret to my, and I'm willing to teach it. Right? I'm willing to teach it, and I want more. And I've taught it to people. I've got now students in over 100 countries. Right? So I want eventually the more and more of the world to know about. Of course, there's energy sciences, energy healing is a, you can study it. There's an 18-month course and get certified and so forth. I teach a very simple method, right, in a few days, and you're going to be able to get more, develop that power, the secret, right, the kriya, using kriya as a secret for healing, right? So you can even use the kriya for other things, right? Some people using the kriya to do harm to people and so forth, right? And I know people, who do that, right? And can I do that as well? I have not tried it, right? And if I focus on it, I'm sure I will find a way, right? But I don't even want to know, which way, and so forth. So they say, this is about, you can dismantle and put together. So over the last 6 years, right? Just the last 6 years, 2025, from 2019 to 2025. Let's see, from 2020 to 2025, the last 5 years. What used to take me 4.5 hours to fix, I now can fix that same thing in 4 minutes flat. Did you hear that? So not suddenly 4 minutes. It was taking 4.5 hours. Then I noticed it takes like 3 hours to, I needed just two sessions of 1 hour. Then in one session of 90 minutes, it gets fixed. Then I didn't no longer needed to do 90-minute sessions. I can do in 1 hour sessions. And then I used to do 1 hour sessions and double sessions. Some things need double, some things are very serious, need double sessions, right? So instead of doing 3 hour, doubling the 90-minute session, I double the 1 hour session, because problem patient can't sit too long, for energy healing. And they don't know what's happening, and it's an important thing that's happening with them. But it's getting quicker and quicker and quicker, and slowly, one fine day, the guy said, "Man, it's fixed." I said, "At what time it got fixed?" And I know, because I'm doing telepathically, and I know what time I started. I said, "Wow, this is 4 minutes after I started." Right? And he felt his migraine is completely gone, which he is under medication and everything is not helping, right? And 2 days after the medication is still not helping, and it's pounding. I don't know what's a headache. I never experienced, what is headache in my life. I don't know what is body pain, and so forth. Of course, I know what's body pain when I go to the gym, right? That type of pain I know, when you work out heavy, pushing yourself to the limits, because I'm into martial arts, and we love to push yourself, and you're doing your push-ups and you can't do more. And then I just tell myself, oh, it hurts so good, it hurts so good, and push myself more, right? Because we want to become stronger, right? In that sense, I don't, because I'm practicing yoga, meditation, kriya, right, for a long time, and pranayama, right? I ought not to. I never had a rotten tooth in my life. I never had a toothache. I had occasional, in my recent years, it came and I fixed it, with my own energy healing. And it takes much longer to fix teeth. And of course, now I'm blind in the last 2.5 years. So my power is not strong enough to recover that, because what's wrong is the optic nerve is damaged. If I can reverse the optic nerve, I'll then know how to reverse age. That's what Sadhguru says. He can dismantle and put back together with Kriya. I'm reaching there closer and closer. I'm now, since the Kriya power awakened in me, I'm on level 702, possibly 703. I'm doubting whether to call that level the next level until I'm sure. And every 2 weeks it increases. Every 2 weeks, right? Is going up, 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 right? So you need, it says, but this is a very difficult thing because you need one lifetime is not enough, right? And I'm in an advanced level. For me, no problem. I don't need multiple lifetimes and so forth. But my students, I don't want them to go through it in multiple lives. It says, unless there's someone alive who can do something with you. What is the something that I do with my students who engage the service, right? My advanced yoga meditation protocol is I firstly unblock all the blockages in their chakras and their development, right? There's blockages that needs to naturally come out. It can take how much of blockages? 10 million years worth, right? 10 million. I'm not just thumb sucking. This is from the theory of yogic sciences, right? Because I had an amazing, very advanced pranayama teacher. So the pranayama is there to cleanse the nadis or the subtle pathways. This is your impressions, your vrittis, or the psyches, the mental matter, the mind matter. That in modern Western science they call it like your subconscious suppressions between 95 to 97% is controlling your this thing. It's so much it can't finish. It's like how much according to yogic science the claim is 10 million. That's why people very slow to progress. You practice minimum 3 hours of the right pranayama time per day, maybe you're going to be successful, right? Maybe, unless you are initialized by a spiritual master. So if you do 3 hours a day, you're going to need a few lifetimes, right, to be successful in it. But if someone does what I do is I unblock the major blockages and the minor blockages. I don't just unblock your 7 chakras. How many chakras we have? 7? No, 114. I go and unblock all 114 chakras for you. So sometimes it takes one session. It can take 90% of the time in one session I can do it, right? And telepathically also. And more very rare cases, there were some cases it took me like 7 days. One case took me 18 days, right, to completely unblock everything, right? Different people have different levels of these blockages, and after that is done, I made the pathway easy peasy. So easy peasy doesn't mean boom, snap your finger is going to happen, but it's not uncommon for my students to have an out of body experience within 1 to 2 days, and not uncommon for my students to reach the breathless state of meditation in 12 months. It's not uncommon. It's not across the board, or majority would say, but it's not uncommon, right? It can happen. So, and then I teach them the Kriya practice, and then they can develop it. And I mean, I had students who, didn't know how, and they can heal, save the life. I had a student, new student, Caucasian from a Western country, woman, never practiced yoga that I know of, right? Yoga or spirituality or anything, in the past. Only someone who believed in, like, you know, um, being, grateful, and having a gratitude journal and so forth, but not into meditation and so forth and so learned. And her favorite, she was like about 6 months into, my practice. And my practice is not like 3 hours pranayama, no, like 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes a day, right? And her favorite dog that was with her for 13 years or so, and got an ailment, that like some type of illness, and took to the vet. This is no, this is now she's very old and there's no cure for this. And to put her out of her misery, we have to put her down. And she wanted to think about it, and who are not think about wanted to contact me and ask, if there's something, if I can do, right? If, of course, I can heal animals as well, not only humans, right? So I know what level I unblocked and cleared, and what level, what I taught her. I know the power. This she doesn't know. She's not convinced of it. I said, no, she'll easily be able to fix this problem. If the dog is still getting sicker, not getting better, then I'll step in, right? I'm not going to risk, a living being's life. Still a dog, but it's a being, right? Living entity. I love all living creatures, right? Even the plants. I get so upset, right? So upset when someone just chops a tree down mercilessly. No, it's getting too big. The branches are going into the neighbor's yard and disturbing them in the night. It's making noise, scratching the. I said, just chop that part, not the whole tree. I said, no, it'll grow again. Are you? Are you? You don't have a heart. You feel the tree is just don't have feelings. Don't you have feelings? Do you feel the tree don't have feelings? And I remember my ex-wife also, I treat my car so nice. I said, you treat your car like a person. It's not a person. You treat it more important than, other people. I said, no, my car, even my house, my chair, my desk, I treat it, because everything got energy in it, right? And is a creation and it's valuable to me and important to me. I respect everything, right? As a child, I treated my toys with respect. 2-year-old child, 1-year-old child. I never broke a single toy in my whole life. My mother said something weird with this child. He's not breaking his toy. And then my younger brother saved me, 4 years younger than me. He came as demolition derby, breaking every toy, from behind me. Because my mother was thinking, what's wrong with this toy? He's preserving all these toys. This is okay. I'll come as part two and break up everything, right? And so forth. So in the Kriya, we can dismantle. So of course, the dog is still alive till today, right? And it got better by her own. She got surprised, man. I said, it's so easy. Just have to do that. Put your hand and just in your mind say, feel that the energy is going there. Just mentally, be mindful that the energy is flowing there. Just imagine that, right? In your mind. So of course you can do that at home. You could try that. Nothing's going to happen, right? Don't risk people's life. Don't do that. And this thing is not going to work. You need to be activated. So I activated the spirituality, right? In one session, right? Only in one session I activated the spirituality, and I taught her everything that she needs to know in one session, right? And then she attended some of my free yoga and meditation classes that I was running while she was, near. She was traveling through where I was, and just practicing some basic postures. And of course, you got the 5-minute yoga and meditation program you can download for free from our website, yogawellness786.com. Start from there, right? And unblocking your chakras, and then showing you the method how to engage the kriya, then, and then it becomes very successful and powerful, and the power starts increasing as you practice more and more. And it took me last 6 years to come to level 702. I think possibly there's around maybe 1,000 levels, right? Or 2,000 levels, not like million levels, right? And also there is certain disciplines that you have to practice, right? So the person has to give you what are the disciplines depending what you want, right? I need to tell you what disciplines you have to practice. So it's not easy. I mean, I'm spending an average of 10 hours a day total in my practice, because I need to practice. On my full-time job is energy healer, and anytime I can get, I mean, yesterday suddenly there was an emergency, right? And I was ready. And then, now today I got another emergency. Every day I get some type of emergency, because I can do it telepathically worldwide, right? Anywhere in the globe, right? And I was in business for 29 years. I got a huge network. On private investors alone, I got a database of 1.1 million private investors who are investing in Dubai, what excess money that we can approach them for funding, right? To fund the thing. So I'm not approaching people for funding because I enjoy the taste of blood. You know, in entrepreneurship, right? Not real blood, like the hunt, right? Because the Chinese and the Japanese say business is war and the market is the battlefield, right? So I like to go hardcore, take a startup and take it up from zero, scratch, without interference from outside. So it's not just my ego. You know what it is? When you get, people to invest in you, then they say, but you must not, you must, in the middle of your video, you must say this, that, that this is a supplement, I tried it and it's so amazing. And it's really amazing. Now you're getting paid to say it. Is it really amazing or not? I don't want that. So I really respect the one guy in the podcast, Buddha the Gas Pump, Rick Archer. He's not into all this. He's got the lowest number of subscribers compared to the people in his field. Compared to like Stephen Bartlett's, Diary of a CEO, heavy into promoting things, right? And him, the Diary of CEO got, I think, 10.3 million subscribers now in his YouTube channel within a 5-year period, right? Just over 5 years. And now he's got his team occupies 5 floors. He rented a building in Los Angeles. He's from the UK. He rented a building, 5-story building in UK with over 100 employees, just his team for that particular, and plus he's got other, businesses as well. He's promoting a lot of stuffs, supplements and this business and that business. I think about 40 small businesses, right? He's doing, right? So, they are promoting stuff and so forth. And, for money, right? So I don't want people to dictate to me how I should do my energy healing and what I should say and what I shouldn't say. No, but you shouldn't be saying this and you must be saying this, and what I should do and shouldn't do. I don't lose my freedom because once they put it there, then they want. Like I would say, okay, I'll give you the percentage and that's it, right? I'll give you 70%. No problem. I'll give you 70% of my business, right? But don't tell me what to do. Give me freedom, right? So they don't want to give me freedom if they're putting their money. It's my money. They feel they own me. No, I don't want to be owned by anyone, and I'm a free person. So it's me, like like worshiping them. Okay, just do it for money. Right? I don't worship money, by the way. If I was worshipping money, I wouldn't be doing energy healing and teaching yoga full time, yoga and meditation full time, charging $5, for it. You know what's my fee before I came to this in commercial? I specialize in commercial real estate brokerage in Dubai, in premium mall retail spaces for rent. Minimum, there, eventually just before leaving, I was charging 2 million dirham, right? About $500,000 minimum. That's a minimum, right? And it goes up to $10 million, right? And specializing in sale of 5-star hotels, minimum is $10 million, right? I don't work with other agents and all that alone. If you're not prepared to pay me the commission $10 million, forget it, right? And they were paying because I had a unique access. That's the minimum, right? There was one hotel just before I left. I still have it. If I want to, I can go back. My profit on it, because I make a profit margin, right? With the owner, I do an agreement, and there is ways and documents and to secure my money. So my profit, if I decided to focus on it, is going to be 100, and I've got a client base for it, right? 150 million dirham. Divide the 75, that is about $40 million, right? Give or take, right? Just from that, and no one knows, no one is able to sell it. Only I know, because it's the people who own these 5-star hotels. They don't advertise it for sale, right? And they're very premium, and they're not desperate for it to be sold. They're not short of money or anything, right? If you bring, like, I know them. If I come with the offer and I come to some agreement, they said okay. They agreed that they will let me, because I talk. You can see how I talk in my videos. I talk too much, right? But I learned to talk with the right level of people, right? And win their confidence, and even the investors are willing to part with. Very commonly were approached by Saudi clients. They had, Osman, I've got 10 million dirham. Find me 10 5-star hotels, all in prime locations, right? and I'm the only one who can get it, right? I'm the only one in the world when it comes to the Dubai market that can get into the home of almost every five-star hotel owner, local owner, right? And have coffee or tea with him. Not if not directly know him, through someone who knows him, and put me into his majlis or in his lounge, right? What you would call in the West, in his lounge, and have some coffee with him, and have an amazing discussion, and bring up the topic, and then come to an agreement how much, let's make some money, and get them to agree, and so forth, right? And so forth. So I left all that, to do this, and I don't need, if I was after money. So there was one day, let me give you, I had so much money, right? And not so much, right? Internationally speaking, but for me, originally from South African standards, it was like so much. I was richer than anyone that I personally knew. Not richer than anyone, of course, Steve Bezos and Bill Gates and Elon Musk, and not on that level, not on an international level, right? In a big shark in a small pond. In my own community, even my country, of course, there's a lot of rich people as well, right? Very rich, but no one that I personally knew, as rich as me, right? That I had so much, right? And I was sitting in my car, and I remember my amazing car, right? Bespoke, everything was bespoke, and it looked, I mean, more double or triple the price of people's houses, right? In this car, I'm sitting, and amazing, like rose petal, the seats, the leather of the seat felt like rose petals, right? So amazing softness. I'm sitting there, I've got everything, got all the money, and it was raining that day, and I was just parked into my yard, right? The gate opened and it closes, the automatic gates, and then because I just parked on the side. I didn't park in the garage because I know I'm going to go back, right? It's still daytime in the afternoon, and the rain was falling in the side of the window, right? And it was not a heavy rain. I could feel the rain, and I'm thinking I've got everything, I've got more money than what I can spend. I bought everything that I like, but I don't have happiness, right? And then when I found happiness, in meditation and in prayer, in faith, and so forth, and I had, there was the 2008 crash in Dubai, worldwide, and we lost all our monies, and monies like obscene amounts of money that we lost, right? Can't even mention it. It will crash the channel, right? And ban me from the channel. But anyway, lost everything, and poor guy again, poor. And I wasn't worried. I was said, now I'm poor, but I'm peaceful. And that time I was so rich and I had no peace. Which one am I going to choose? I had that circumstance to compare. Hands down, in a heartbeat, I'll choose peace. Hands down, in a heartbeat. So people used to threaten me, in Dubai, and we're going to do this. And if you don't give me, you must give me, and I'll give you, and they'll give me a bribery and this, that. You can do what you want, put me in jail. You lose your old business, you lose all your money, everything, if you don't give me your connection. Who's your secret connection? No problem, do it. I called the, and no, I was prepared, and they called the bluff. They did everything. I lost my businesses as well, with their threats, and I felt nothing. I said, no, business is for me like a monopoly, right? Playing monopoly. Okay, you lose the money. Okay, next round you'll build up. You'll buy again houses and hotels and everything. Okay, we rebuild. It's going to go back into it, right? And of course, I'm not gonna go. I'm not out to like a masochist want to just build something and just throw it away. But I'm not gonna, concede to threats and so forth, right? So I built many businesses, and brought it up. Easy peasy? No, very difficult. I mean, 6 years I'm doing this full time, from 2019 to now. This year, okay, not this year. This year I made some money, in the beginning of the year. In the last 6 months, how much have I made? Let me convert that to US dollars. $5. Sorry, $10. I made another $5. No, 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 $5. Yes, $5 I made yes, that's correct. $5 cash income. And of course, I moved, a few countries, and moved cities, and trying to find the right place, the right marketing method, and so forth, and pushing forward. But now it's 6 years, right? And in the last 6 years, How much have I made altogether? I don't think in the last 6 years I made more than, uh, let's say, $30,000 in 6 years, right? Last year was my most amazing year when I made about $25,000, right? And of course, the beginning of the year, I think I made probably around $4,000, in January, February. And after that, zero. Not zero. I mean, now recently, it's starting to pick up. I made $5, right? And that was just before I started this promotion on the 10-minute anxiety fix for just $5. So I just started this promotion. So, of course, I don't want to end this year, on just $5 in the last 6 months. I want to start, taking, but however long it takes, it's fine. I'm fine, I'm fine, no problem. How I'm surviving, I'm an entrepreneur. If I must go live in a homeless shelter until my business takes off, no problem for me. I know I'm sure it's gonna take off. I've been in this type of situation. How did I earn the millions in Dubai? Like that? Snap took me 9 years, right? So before that, how did I earn millions in my own country and sitting in my luxury car? 6 years I earned less than a street sweeper. I didn't know anyone earning less money than me. And then I came to a point where I didn't know anyone earning more money than me. From that two extremes within a 6 year period, right? So 6 years it took me struggling, delivering pizza just for petrol money. 6 years of that, and I stuck to it until I succeeded, right? Went to Dubai, living in bed spaces, and I can't live. I'm living in driving luxury vehicles in my country and doing so well. The people say, why don't you go back to your country? You're doing so well in your country, right? And I said, no, I took the challenge. It's either going to succeed or die trying. And I remember one time I took a bed, I said, no, I'll take sharing accommodation, to cut costs. And I said, I'll go cheap as possible to keep my, expenses low. There's no homeless shelters in Dubai, by the way. If you're homeless, you'll get deported, right? So there were 16 people to a room. They made the double bunks, they're living a little bit higher, so there's a basement level, like the mattress under the bunk. There's three levels of people sleeping, right? And sharing only one toilet and bathroom. Only one. I forced myself to go there to cut my cost, right? But only one day I experienced, but I never spend the night there. I went to a more decent sharing place where there were, I think, about six to eight people, and I said I'm going to force myself to stay. I paid 3 months in advance, so now I cannot leave. I lived there, I think, 2 days, right? 2 days, and I couldn't. I went and took a room for myself, right? So it doesn't matter. I'll find a way, and I have to pay rent for the room, much more expensive, for the room, and lived in rooms, and then took apartments, after that. Then went. It took me 9 years of living like that, but I was never without food. I remember sometimes I'll come to the end because I used to be afraid, I don't want to starve to death. And if I have to starve, I'll starve, right? So I used to buy in bulk the cheapest foods that I could find in bulk, like tuna cans. One supermarket, they'll send you a pack of 10 tuna cans. It was like, oh, next to nothing, like a couple of dollars only, right? I can't remember the exact, it was like very cheap. It's the cheapest, no, you wouldn't eat that tuna. Even the people I was in relation, my wife at that time, she said, no, she would not eat that tuna. When she came to, I was okay again and I was used to, after I was okay, then I could bring my wife to the country and my child and so forth. And I was used to eating the cheap. She said, no, she will not. She will have the proper, good quality tuna. And then I bought both qualities because for me it's nothing, right? Because I just wanted protein because I'm working out and I wanted more protein, right? Protein power at that time. I was working on building my body, not to Arnold Schwarzenegger level. I just wanted to look good in a suit and look fine, So because once you've gone over 40, I don't want a big pot belly and so forth, right? I mean, even now my waist size is 30 inches, used to be 46 inches, right? And so having consuming all these things and struggling to make money, so coming to the kriya is not that easy, right? I'm pushing, but of course you don't have to spend. I mean, my students are spending maximum 1 hour, in it, because there's something that what Sadhguru said that needs to be done for you to make it easy, right? So these are the things, that's otherwise on your own you're going to be struggling, and you can dismantle and put together, right? So I'm using it in a constructive way. I don't want to do, magic and materialize money and, all this focusing and connecting with which spirit entity. I don't know, I don't want to this thing. And I'll use other methods, for all that, to be successful, just working hard in my business. And I use, in Islam, we got dhikr, you've got certain things you recite, in the Quran that helps you to um, uh, be more prosperous financially. You don't put money in your hand. When you're working hard, you'll be able to grow in accordance with how hard you're working. Because some people working hard and going in circles, they're not growing, right? So that is how it is with the Kriya also. But so I hope that information on the Kriya, helps you. I'm sorry for detracting on so many other stories. I'm trying to give you a better understanding what I mean, from my perspective, on the subject matter. And thank you for listening to me up to this point. I'm really privileged that you sat up to this point. And take care of yourself always.